Now we're going to bring up Heba Mahmood, who is the VP of Marketing for Elmhurst. Elmhurst is a wonderful brand. Hi, how are you? I just mentioned that Elmhurst is a wonderful brand of alt dairy milks. What do you guys do? What do you guys make? Where are you based?
Sure. So we're based in Elma, New York. It's a little south of Buffalo. We make all plant-based products. So we actually used to be a dairy company for over 95 years. In 2017, we shut down the dairy operation and completely switched to producing plant-based milks, creamers. We have a barista line of milks as well. And we're starting to move into single-serve formats.
Yeah, I think we have some that we're going to show here as part of our product cam. The trajectory, the growth of this category of dairy-free, plant-based milks has been remarkable to see. Elmhurst, it feels like you guys were a little behind in terms of brands getting to market, but now that you're on the market, you seem to be growing really, really fast. I mean, where are you guys distributed? How many stores are you in? What are sales like?
Sure. So we're distributed nationally. We're more saturated on the East Coast rather than the West Coast. We're in about 7,000 stores right now nationally, and we're starting to move into food service outlets as well. So 2020 will be big as far as our growth and move into food service channels.
You said a couple things there. Let's start with food service. Recently, food service, I mean, given that coffee shops and restaurants are trying to cater to their customers who want a plant-based option, do you think that's a bigger opportunity than retail at this point?
I feel like they work hand in hand, but I will say there are massive amounts of opportunity and white space in food service for plant-based products and for functional products as well. So I feel like food service has been a little bit behind retail, but I feel like it's quickly catching up. And as consumers use these products in their homes, they're going to go out to their food service outlets and demand more plant-based options as we're seeing right now, happening right now. Yeah.
Elmhurst, you mentioned that you use the word saturated to describe where you were in terms of distribution on the East Coast. The category itself is highly saturated at this point. Lots of brands introducing line extensions. There's some pretty big players on the market.
Sure.
As the VP of Marketing, what's your marketing strategy? How do you communicate the benefits of and sort of the differentiation, the points of differentiation for Elmhurst?
Sure. So first and foremost, it really all starts with the product. We really rely on the product to set itself apart from the rest of the category. They're truly different, right? We process the products in a different way. We use our hydro release technology developed by Dr. Cheryl Mitchell. Essentially what that gives us is macro and micronutrients that are more digestible.
Okay.
Nobody else is doing that. We're giving people 28 grams of whole grain in a carton of oat milk, right? We're not using any oils, never using any gums or any other ingredients like that. And we're using 4 or 5 times more of the source ingredient as well. So it's not just about entering the plant-based space and coming out with a plant-based milk. It's about really giving people some nutrition, what a really truly clean label product, and giving them functional products as well.
It's interesting you talk about nutrition because I think some dairy alternative milks have been sort of knocked because of the lack of nutrition. Is that first and foremost for Elmhurst when you're talking about your products? Is it taste and then nutrition, or nutrition and then taste?
I would say nutrition and taste. Nutrition is king. Clean label is king. And taste is also very important. So we aim for all three. But I would say clean label and nutrition are the most important things to us. And when I say nutrition, I mean whole grains, 28 grams, 20 grams in every cup. I'm talking about excellent source of omegas in most of the products that we produce. I'm talking about 4 or 5 times more protein than any other almond milk on the market. So absolutely, we came into market really looking to give some of our all of the consumers better for you plant-based products.
Well, consumers are looking for better for you plant-based products in the oat milk segment. Just an explosive part of our business, perhaps the fastest growing beverage category that we've seen in some time. What do you think about the trajectory for oat milk? I mean, are you guys expecting further growth in that segment? And if so, how do you stay ahead of the game?
Sure. We definitely do expect this trend to keep growing very fast. We anticipate people wanting to take oat milk on the go with them, right? And we actually developed a line of single-serve oat milks for people to take on the go with them.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a cereal milk.
Okay.
Like I said, the 28 grams of whole grain in there. They're super fresh. They're not too heavy. They're very creamy at the same time, and they're in a convenient 11-ounce package. And they'll be making their way into convenience channels very soon. So I think people are going to ask for more products that they can use in different formats and in different segments. So they're going to look for their oat milk in food service channels outside of coffee, not just coffee. And they're going to also look to take that oat milk with them on the go. I do think there are more ingredients out there, super ingredients that are going to be the next oat, if you will. So we're looking ahead.
Could you share any of those ingredients that you think are going to be the next oat?
Hemp.
Hemp. Okay.
Hemp. And I'm
Sure.
not talking about CBD. I'm talking about industrial hemp. We actually launched this year a line of hemp-based creamers. And what we learned was we were a little bit too far ahead of the game, right? There's a lot of education that needs to be done for people and retailers too, buyers, to understand what is industrial hemp and, why is this a super crop, a super food and an all-around great ingredient.
Without using the word industrial on top of it too, because it is sourced from industrial hemp. It's one of the only ways you can source legal hemp in this country. But you never want to say, I guess it's hard not to say the word while you're trying to educate people about where it is sourced from.
Sure.
In terms of the usage occasion for a hemp-based milk, I mean, what are some of the customers, how are customers infusing it into their lives?
So I would say it would be exactly the same as what you would be using an oat milk for, or, a dairy milk if you were. So it would, our creamers and our hemp milks are super duper creamy. So, in some cases you really can't even tell you're not drinking a dairy milk, or you can't even tell that you're drinking a plant-based product. I think consumers are used to plant-based products being a little on the thinner side, or having a little bit of a foreign taste to them. But I would say they would be used as direct replacements for milk. They can be used for cooking applications as well. Anything that calls for a heavy cream base or anything like that. So they pair very well with coffee. So for that functional barista, looking for a perfect foam and a flavor profile that's going to pair well with a cup of coffee. I really think that oat is going to continue to grow, but I think you'll start seeing continuous innovation in hemp.
We've only got about 40 seconds left or so. I'd love to talk to you about your social media strategy.
Sure.
There's a lot of noise out there, obviously, but social is still a really impactful and effective way to communicate your message. What's been your approach to engaging consumers on social?
So we use, it's a little bit of a mix of influencers. We have some video campaigns that are going to be coming out soon that are meant to entertain and serve as a means to educate as to what clean label truly is, what nutrition means, why omegas are good for you, what's sustainability, right, and things like that. So we're using social media to become that credible source of education from a nutrition, sustainability, and clean label standpoint. And we're also going to try to entertain our consumers a little bit with a few fun campaigns that we have coming out.
Outstanding. Heba, this has been so great. I'm really thirsty for some hemp-based creamers, not to drink entirely by myself. Maybe
Don't forget about our oat milks.
Oh, your oat milks.
Yeah.
Of course your oat milks. But this has been great. Really appreciate you taking the time to be with me. Good luck with everything going forward. Hey, it's Ray Latif with Taste Radio. If you like what you just saw, hit subscribe and ding the bell. You'll be happy you did.